Hi everyone. This is our first podcast, and we here are going to talk about all things fiction, including Marvel, DC, anime, and a lot of other fictions that some of you might have heard of, and some of you might not have heard of. So, this one is specifically on a fan favorite character, but in a very different manner. Hope you all enjoy it. Now I have here with me my best friend and my podcast partner, and his name is Dylan, and he is a semi expert on all things fiction as well, like myself. So, both of us as a team will be giving you our opinions, and those opinions will create the podcast. So, hi Dylan, how do you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on the podcast this time around.
Great. So, uh, Me and Dylan both are very big fans of Marvel and especially Spider Man.
Oh, yeah.
Spider Man is the fan favorite character since it's been there, and it will always be a fan favorite character. No other Marvel character has impacted the masses so much over the years, but it has also impacted fiction. It has impacted fiction in ways that people have forgotten about. And it is very necessary that in our first podcast, we give him that respect and we remind people that what Spider Man, even unintentionally, brought into this world of fiction.
We're
So,
talking about Rule 34 stuff or other stuff. So,
we'll not be mentioning that Rule 34 stuff in this podcast, but all the
because I
listeners
know
know.
Spider-Man affected that pretty
All
well.
the listeners know that it's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, coming to the main topic. Spider Man was created by Stanley.
And Steve Ditko, just let's not forget. Yeah. I'm just, yeah, 'cause- yeah, I'll just say that, Stanley gets a lot of credit for a lot of heroes, and rightfully so, but, like, Ditko kind of gets undershined sometimes. Basically, everyone knows Spider-Man. I'm not gonna highlight that too much, other than he's supposed to be yeah, he's supposed to be written as one of the most relatable characters, and when he was being written, a lot of people were against the idea, considering that the target audience were teenagers, and most of the people at that time reading comics were adults. But somehow, like, Stanley still did it in the Amazing Fantasy series and worked out great. Uh, Took a great response. And after that, a lot of people who were on top of Stanley in hierarchy, they requested for the character to come back, and then the Spidey's popularity inevitably grew as he became an icon of Marvel and soon became one of Stanley's favorite characters to come onto the silver screen. I mean, the latest movie, No Way Home, it has Doctor Strange and Spider Man. I mean, that's not a spoiler; it's just in the trailers. And I mean, that's a purely, what do you call it, fan service, considering that.
Hey, audience,
Yes,
I know
it's
my
a
friend
big
mentioned that it's
thing
not a
for
spoiler,
Spidey,
but
Steve Ditko
really, if
fans, because Steve
any
Ditko
of you
was the
have still
person who,
not watched the movie
he
and it's a
created,
spoiler to you,
co-wrote
really,
Spider-Man, the
really,
character
what are
Spider-Man,
you doing
and
in your
Doctor
life,
Strange.
man? Just get out there.
So
Come
it
on.
was a huge
Get a life.
homage to Ditko,
Yeah,
and
you
there
may
are a few
continue.
subtle references in that movie. So yeah, that's about as much trivia I'll give on the character without diverting too much from the main topic of today's. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we all can see the flow diverting from the main topic. Audience, I would like to really spell out the main topic for you now, because if I don't, you will all get confused now. Okay. So the topic today is how Spider-Man created an impact on the fiction world, and this he did indirectly. All right. So I'll tell you what happened when
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man gained a lot of fame
Yup.
all across the globe. A lot of TV series, a lot of shows were being made on him, and one such show was made in Japan. All right, it was known as Japanese Spider-Man or Spider-Man. It had got its rights from Stanley, so it is pretty out there, like in some multiverse. That might be the origin story of Spider-Man, but I would like to tell you something very important
Well, of
about
course, it was
that
Japan. They just
specific
can't
serial.
have things be
That
the way
specific
it's
serial
normally
had a
could be.
completely different Peter Parker, completely different origin story, and completely different
Yeah,
villain
the
roster and
radiation.
everything. Alright, it was a very different
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
absolutely agree.
Yeah. Plus, it was like 1978. So what can we really expect? Like, come on, let's give them. They did a
Yeah, I
very
mean,
good
like
job.
you should. Spider-Man has a freaking car. He has a
Yes.
car in that series.
So, if any of you have not checked that show out, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you might not have, do check that show out. It is really amazing. All right. Yes, and this is what we are going to get into majorly today, audience, because that car and such things are what inspired the next era of fiction. So, all of you must be aware of what Power Rangers are. All of you must be aware of what Zords and Megazords are. But did you know, in a sense, Japanese Spider-Man was the first Power Ranger? I'll tell you how.
So you're telling me
Because it was the
that
first ever
the
show
Power
which
Rangers
featured
that
a
we know and
Zord.
that like the
Let's
movies
not
that
get
they've
to the
made
fact that
all
the Zord
stem
of
from a
Spider-Man was
Marvel
named
origin.
Cheetah, but it was a Zord indeed. And it was the first Zord to ever exist and to ever transform. Yes, they all actually indirectly stem from a Marvel origin, because look, Spider-Man got its rights in Japan. They made a show out of it. They wanted to do something original with it. They introduced Megazords in it. They introduced Zords in it. Alright, they introduced that kind of stuff in it. And then, very very recently after that, the world's first Power Rangers were released. Not the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, guys. They were not the world's first Power Rangers. The world's first Power Rangers were Japanese.
Go white
They were known
power.
as Kamen Rider.
Sorry, yellow
Right?
power.
They were the world's first Power Rangers to exist. It was a very very huge roster. They all of them
It's
had
just the classic
swords.
lines.
The general Power Rangers shenanigans like morphing and weapons. And yes, my friend here is a racist. I'm so sorry. So,
Wait, hold on.
yes.
You're telling me like wasn't there like a
Well,
golden one
in
for
most of the
like a
Power
white
Rangers
and golden
shows,
one?
the most powerful one is the black one,
I
and
remember playing the Power
the
Rangers game,
protagonist is the
and
red
in
one.
that there
So
was
I
like
don't
a
see
time
where white
traveling
is
Power
coming
Ranger who
from. But
was
anyways,
white and golden, and he had the he had a face shield of blue. So
golden,
I think the time
mostly
traveling
golden.
Power Rangers like in that game, he
Yeah,
brings all of the rest of them together.
that yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
did,
okay,
we'll get audience.
okay.
Most probably
Okay,
next one only,
because
but
that
we'll
game
get
kind of
into
taught
that
me that
specific
that
Power
Power Ranger
Ranger
would
in the next
Probably the
podcast because
OP.
it's a whole discussion in itself. All right, that guy is different. It's a complex story. It's a complex origin and everything.
Okay. Yeah. This was
Yeah,
just a teaser for the next
well, he
episode,
is,
guys.
but he is not majorly just the White Power Ranger. Let me tell you.
Completely unscripted.
Okay, we'll get into the detail in the next podcast. We don't want two topics merging. All right. Teaser, yay, unintentional, completely unscripted, guys. We are doing this podcast
Yeah,
completely
for
unscripted,
now.
and like we literally came up with the second topic just right now and gave the spoiler to the audience while coming up with it. So thank you very much. We are only aware as much as you are.
Yeah, they will make people to work for us. And
Yeah, for now.
yeah,
When we get famous and make us famous, people, make us famous. When we get famous, then we'll know. We'll work harder. Let us get some money. If you don't get money, it won't motivate us. Yes. So let me come back to the main thing. Thank you very much. So Kamen Rider were the world's first Power
oh,
Rangers,
we're allowed
and
to
they
say the F
inspired a
word?
lot of generations of Kamen Riders. And after that, Americans
Oh, okay.
claimed that they had created the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They just used the term Power Rangers and got fucking
Okay.
famous.
Immediate
Yeah,
censorship. Got
in
it.
this one now we are. It got freaking famous, and so yeah, self-realization 100. Yeah, so the term got famous,
SPD.
and the type of characters that Power Rangers fall into got
Yeah.
getting started recognized as Power Rangers, and like Mighty Morphin, and
But to
then
be fair, I still
Ninja
don't know
Storm,
what
Mystic
Kamen Rider
Force,
is. I'm
SPD.
sorry.
There are a lot of Jungle Force. There are a lot of Power Rangers, but
Yeah, I'm
people just
uncultured.
forget that the first one were
Yeah,
actually Kamen Rider, all right, and they deserve that respect. And
all kinds.
yeah, that's because everybody is not
Even.
such a big geek
Okay.
like
Okay.
me. I just
I was
love all
about to
kinds of
say
fiction.
necrophilia, but
What can I
okay.
do? I want to know everything and watch everything. All kinds.
I mean, you answered quite
Yes.
fast. I would assume you knew what I was going to say.
Yeah. I didn't know that, but sure.
That's what she said.
I knew you from six and like I know you pretty well. Yes, I knew what was coming. You didn't need to spell it out, just censorship issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Kamen Rider, they were Japan's Power Rangers. They were, very strong and like very, very complicated designed. They did not have that one symbol that's common to all
Right.
Power Rangers. In generally, what happens in Power Rangers.
Okay.
Alright. Plus, their names were
Okay.
also pretty nice, pretty up there because they were not named as red, green, blue, and all that.
After
They
1945,
white,
especially
no,
after 1945.
especially not white. This was being made by Japanese people,
Okay.
and yeah, they did not like the white people, especially, yes,
Oh, that's
yes,
nice.
exactly. Mm. There was night though. You can add white before that.
Wait, isn't Saga a city in Japan?
Yeah, there was night. There was Odin, Orga, Zanki, Glaive, Igza, Saga, and all these more and more Japanese getting names.
I'm just saying, like, is it
Saga
something
is a lot of
similar to
things. It is
Saitama,
also
like
the
where
name
his
of
name
Kamen
is a
Rider Ranger from the
reference to
first
an actual
generation. Thank you
city,
very
or is
much.
it just by accident that he's called Saga?
Alright, so
Okay, okay.
By accident. I would like to assume so. Yes. Okay. So now people getting into the
Mhm.
track of it. What this inspired, what Megazords actually inspired in America, because I'll get it, chain of thought. So the children especially loved toys that could,
So are you?
transform
I
themselves
think
like
we all
Zords
know
and
where
like
this is
combine,
going.
get
Uh,
built into something new. It was
oh,
like
T
multiple
R
in one and one
A
in
N
many kind of
S.
thing for them.
What? I was
It
talking about trans
increased them.
people. What are you talking about?
Yes, don't spell it out. Thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes. No. No, no.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about
Anytime.
transdisciplinary learning. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for breaking my chain of thought, Dylan. Hmm. Yes, so Japanese children really loved it, and not just Japanese children. Globalization had, almost started, and people had started getting,
Tourists. There we go. The
access
proper
to different
name.
parts of the world. So when
Oh, we don't get to say
visitors
aliens in
came,
this
as in
generation.
travelers, as in
Sounds
tourists.
offensive
Yes,
to some people.
they were kind of aliens for them only. So yeah, visitors. Hmm.
Oh, oh, okay, okay. You're gonna get famous fast, buddy. Just not in the way you think. Then
When did I say I did not mean to be offensive?
there are consequences.
Yeah. So
I said consequences.
infamous is more famous than normal famous. I'm ready to get that.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Conspiracies on me. I would love that so much. Yeah, the
Oh yeah,
consequences will
yeah, sure,
be
sure.
conspiracies as well.
It's just for context, audience.
Plus, you know that how infamous I
I
like
thought you liked
getting
being infamous.
from personal experience. It's my favorite pastime.
Okay.
No, thank you. No one needs it. No,
Oh,
not that
those kind of
much.
toys. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Ah, okay.
So
The
even
transform. Oh yeah,
American
yeah, yeah, yeah.
children
Those
loved
toys.
that
Yes.
kind of toys, and they were like, "Papa, papa, mujhe bhi chahiye."
Okay.
Yes,
Now
those kind
that
of toys
really
which
does
could
sound like a
transform
sexual
themselves.
double
In
meaning kind of Megazord kind of toy.
yes,
Is this
yes, the Megazord kind of
okay?
toys. So
Look, mom, it lights up.
maybe that's why they liked it. We don't know. Okay, humans are a very complicated species, huh? So basically, American kids also liked it. All the kids around the world liked it. So
Translate for those
Americans were
who
like,
don't
we
understand
need
Hindi.
to make this our own and tell the Japanese that हमने बनाया तुमने नहीं बनाया भाड़ में जाओ
But if we become
जैसा
famous,
वो हर
though,
बार कहते हैं. I don't think
Americans
anybody who
basically
doesn't
put a
understand Hindi
brand.
is going to listen to our first podcast. It's the first podcast. ये कितने ही लोग. Okay, so I just said that the Americans. Yes, American wanted to claim the brand that we have created this. They are very good at all
Get
this stuff. All right, a lot of things in America are done by Indians and Japanese and all these Asian countries, but they're like,
they're pretty easy
no,
to
no, we
roast.
claim it.
We've done a lot of
So
stuff.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
America. I'm
I
roasting
mean,
you.
The Japanese would know pretty well about Americans roasting stuff. Oh god,
Roast worthy.
that is extremely. That sounds racist. If anything, that would sound racist.
Baka baka baka.
We're gonna get cancelled. We're gonna
When
get
did I ever
cancelled
say I
by
do
the
not
second
mean to
episode itself.
sound racist?
There are gonna be tweets. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck? What the heck?"
Ohayo gozaimasu.
This this is what they're teaching in India. How to be perfect racist.
YouTube will be like, somebody get this to some neurological medicines.
Not the Japanese. Not after hearing your
Yeah,
baka baka
audience,
shit.
we had not planned this. All right, we are having a lot of fun. Hope you are also. All right, we did not plan this at all.
No, I
Japan,
oh
look,
yeah. It's no
after
fun
my
fact,
own
Mate.
country, India, your
Yeah,
country
yeah.
is what
That's
I
the
love the
thing,
most. All
Mate.
right,
The Japanese already
I
know
love
everyone
Japan.
loves their
It's in
country.
my heart.
They don't allow
I
people
want to. I
that
want to
talk like
reside
baka
there
baka
permanently.
to get permanent residence. You know why? Yeah.
I'll learn better
American
when
branding,
I
sir.
need to get permanent residence. Yeah. So,
Any day.
okay, American brand. Yes. My God, Dylan, you are such a distraction. Yeah. So Americans wanted to claim the brand, and that's exactly what they
SPD.
did. First, they claimed the Power Rangers brand. Now everybody who remembers Power
Oh
Rangers
no,
are
my
like
my
Mighty
one is
Morphin and
the one with
Ninja
the
Storm and
dinosaurs. I
everything.
just remember SPD.
Yeah, yours
Yeah,
favorite
there
is
we go,
SPD.
Dino
Mine
Thunder.
favorite is like SPD as well. Dino Thunder. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Will next podcast is definitely about Power Rangers, guys. All right. We both
Kinky.
really want to, and
Oh, okay.
it's out there now. If we don't do it about Power Rangers now, we'll just be slapping ourselves internally. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
after massacring Kamen Rider and creating Power
Transformers.
Rangers, which we do need
I
to give
don't
them the
know the
credit, what
I
really
don't
awesome.
remember the opening.
They created Transformers.
Okay. Sorry. Anyways, Transformers are pretty
That
cool too.
was very inaccurate. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, it's
they
like
they
they
created
turned.
Transformers are extremely. That's what the Americans do.
Yeah, no,
We can
Americans
hate
basically
them,
what they did
but
is
we
they took
can't.
a sniper rifle and
They,
turned it
they,
into a
they
bazooka.
did copy the idea, but they
And
made
everyone
it
loves the
so,
bazooka.
so
Everyone
much
loves the
better.
sniper rifle as well. But what you're going to use and what you're going to have more fun with? Come on, let's be honest here.
Nice.
Like everyone's Michael Bay at some point.
Yep, it's necessary.
Oh, this
Nice
episode became
philosophical thought
slightly
for the
edgy.
audience.
Okay.
Anger is necessary. We just need to know how to
All
vent it
kinds.
out in a proper direction. We will
Oh,
give you all
I
kinds of
just
stuff, people,
demanded any
alright?
kind of just I
If there's demand.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm scared now. Oh God.
Speak
What are we
carefully,
gonna
my
ask?
brother. You're
Please
also
do
a
not
part of
ask for
this.
any butt stuff. I'm not ready yet. Give me some time, guys. I'll be prepared in a few years.
Now that you
Just not,
mentioned
just
it,
not
I'm
right now.
pretty sure someone would want to.
You never know.
Yeah, nobody wants to Dylan. No, no, thank you.
Oh wow!
Dylan
Just
is
because
a
I'm a
Dylan
male.
is a
Wow, that's kind
boy.
of
Okay,
sexist.
he's a male. You do not want to be interested in his genitalia. Because yes, and that is very sexist, and it is very true, and it hurts me as well because men, except gay men, are
Quite
not
literally, but yeah.
interested in male genitalia, and females, even if they are, they don't give a fuck. Quite, yeah. See the wordplay, people. Yeah. So, Transformers changed the world a lot. You know, the storyline, the plot line, the
Yeah,
characters,
I mean, there's one
all
thing
of
I
the
still don't
movies,
like about like the
there are
latest
comics, right?
Transformers
The
movie.
comics, the roster, the games, everything is
It's like in the
brilliant.
earlier movies, Optimus Prime, like his design was pretty cool, right? Like you can see
Okay,
how
tell
you
me.
can see like even when he's in his man form, humanoid form, you can see that he's perfectly, he could transform into a truck perfectly. You could see the tires and the windshield.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you,
but in the
man.
latest movie,
For
like the last night, like he's completely humanoid. You don't see the tires or
we
anything.
could see
Like
that.
if
Yes,
he transforms, you
transformation.
don't
Yes.
know where anything goes. It's just that, like he just like they bullshit their way through the animation somehow.
Yeah, okay. I have a actually logical explanation for that, and that's a very good question, Dylan. So, you know, Transformers, whenever they changed their, it's not the official term, but we can say codex, you know, the design of vehicle mode from one vehicle to another,
Ah, like Bumblebee in the first movie
they
when he
kind of go
transformed from that
through
to
a
the
semi
good car.
evolution, all right? Internal transformation. Uh, yes. So even when they will transform back into the humanoid form, those changes will be noticeable. All right. So we can reasonably say that Optimus Prime transformed, took the
Semi,
vehicle
yes.
mode of a much, high on defense
Me neither. I
truck
think it's
of the
called a
same
semi.
kind. Semi. Well, I'm not that good at vehicles.
Yeah, but still, like,
The truck that Optimus Prime transforms into. So
yeah,
when he got into the humanoid form, those he was more shielded, like even more humanoid. Hinting
evolving.
towards that while staying on
That's
Earth,
I
the
see. Okay,
Autobots are
I kind of
internally
get it.
kind of adapting more to humanity. You will actually observe that
That they're more shapely,
Decepticons don't show this change.
pointy.
They actually show the
Yeah,
opposite.
machiny. Yes, machiny.
Yes, machine. Yeah. Okay, getting you. So
Which is awesome.
Transformers were, as you can see, indirectly also inspired from Spider-Man. So, which is so awesome, so awesome. Imagine your favorite superhero, Spider-Man. And I'm saying your favorite because majority of people's favorite is Spider-Man. Let's just accept that as a fact. Your favorite superhero has led to the creation of Power Rangers as well as
Yeah, like they
Transformers,
all
both
are
of
money
which in today's
laundering
time
brands
are
all
a
by
whole
themselves.
established verse in itself. They are very well established and so nice, alright? They are extremely good. In the next podcast, when we'll talk about Power Rangers,
I'm gonna
I'm
talk
going
about
to
Ryukendo in
give
that
you
episode.
so much
If
good
I'm in that episode,
information,
yeah, I'll
alright?
talk about
You
Ryukendo.
will all love it. But
Oh
of course,
yeah,
you're gonna be in that
thank you.
episode. You're being a really good panel member. You're gonna kind of be in every episode. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's also fair.
Also, I don't know anybody else who
Okay, so
has this
it's
much
not like I
knowledge.
don't
Yes.
have competition. It's more that I'm the default selection.
Yeah, it's like there's one job and there's
Yeah,
one person.
yes. Thank you for
Even though
having
I
me on
could
this
do it
journey.
alone, I do not prefer to.
Same.
Now that
It's
you
just
have
something
mentioned
very
Yukendo,
satisfying about those
it's one of
keys.
my favorite Power Rangers type Exactly.
I might
So,
have actually developed one thing, like after watching those episodes for
okay.
so long, like just shoving that key into those fucking, sorry, into those freaking those. I'm just saying, it's very satisfying.
Okay, okay, okay. No, no, no.
Moving on,
Don't
guys. Moving
confuse
on.
yourself. Oh my god.
It's just satisfying, man. You ever shoved a
Why do
key
I know this?
perfectly without, touching any side of the inside of the lock? It's just satisfying. You try it, all right? You have a door, you have a lock. You just try it. It's just satisfying.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're moving on from this discussion, this horrific discussion which is tormenting my
Hmm.
brain.
Yes.
Yes, Ryukendo was very cool. Yes. So let's get a bit into Transformers because Power Rangers we're going to talk all about in the next podcast. And this is the section
Mhm.
for which mainly you are there, except for the humor.
For
All right,
now.
guys. Sorry, my English is not perfect. I'm also a human being.
No, you'll
For
you'll
now,
become
I
a
intend
corpse
to become
before
a
that.
Saiyan.
Don't worry. It's like, wow. Okay. So, not that
Acceptable.
ambitious, are we? It's just like there's a big difference between a corpse and a saint, but you're like I made that jump and you're like acceptable. It's okay. I didn't I didn't
You
say
know,
that you
we
would
can
be.
revive people in Dragon Ball.
What
If
if
we if
Sandor
we
was an
ask a
asshole
wish
and
from
didn't
Shenron
grant
that
your
revive
wish?
this specific person as a Saiyan, then it will
And
happen.
not in the like everything's slightly different in
Shenron is
reality.
not like that.
Yeah, very. So yeah, he
Very.
could be an asshole.
Yeah. People, you are
Yeah.
going to hear a lot of anime stuff. Okay? So, if you are an otaku, you'll love our podcast because a
You don't need to
lot of
bring up the
anime.
status. No
I
one
have
wants to.
personally completed 1122 anime. I have completed 1122
For
anime. I'm
those
currently watching 8 and 11 are in my to be watched list.
for
Alright,
those who
all
are
the anime
new
that I'm
to
watching
this
are
podcast,
like
just letting you know he's
currently
never going to
airing.
give up.
I'm
No, you never know. Some person could be just
It's the
viewing
first
it
one, everyone
for
is
the
new.
first time after our channel's already been established. But yeah, he'll just continue to give this statistic as many times as
Yes,
possible.
yes, okay.
Okay, so just I proved my
Not
point.
the same one,
I
it will
think you
increase.
understand. I think the audience understands what I'm trying to say now. You just proved it. Yeah.
I am very
Yeah.
prideful about my otakuness. Yes, I would also like to give this honor to my friend Dylan because he's the one who
Yes.
actually introduced me to anime back in sixth grade. Like I did watch Dragon Ball and Naruto before that, but I was like, they are shows like different shows on a different channel. But the term anime, what being a otaku is, really getting into the culture, becoming cultured, all of those things Dylan inculcated into me. He's kind of my otaku sensei.
Yes.
But I
And
have
statistics.
overseeded him a lot by a far, far now. Alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can still
In
name a few anime
statistics
that you
and
don't know, but
otakuness.
sure.
Yes,
Hold on one. Yeah, I'll be
I
back in
can name a
3 minutes. My
lot of
pizza's
anime
here.
that you haven't watched, and I have. Yeah. So while he's having pizza, people, let me tell you some good trivia. Alright. So my favorite superhero basically is Iron Man. Alright. And you will also hear a lot of Iron Man references because I'll tell you a bit about myself. I do a lot of things. Alright, I like keeping myself busy. So I watch a lot of fictions and I read a lot of fictions, mangas, and then general comics like Marvel and DC, and then I watch all of their shows, all of their live action shows, everything that's available. I even like I have a lot of action figures of anime. I have two lightsabers up here, one Transformers. So yeah, I'm pretty cultured. Not to brag about it, but yeah, that's why I decided to start this podcast because even though factually I might not be like always 100% sure and always 100% accurate, but still I will deliver you a lot of good information in a manner that might intrigue you. And my only intention during these podcasts is to create more and more awareness and likability for various fictions, especially the ones that are being
Okay, I'm
ignored.
back.
Right? Like in yes, you're back. The
Oh,
time when you were not here was very
you're welcome.
productive, Dylan. Yeah. And what were we
Transformers
talking about?
and your protagonist.
Good.
You don't. We don't.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
let's
were talking about
just
my
go back to
protagonist. Transformers
Transformers.
we will
We
continue.
we have. Oh God.
There's an anime on Transformers as well, people.
I- That's okay. Okay. Nice. Moving on from anime topics for now. We have probably like 20
Yeah,
minutes
for now.
or maybe less than that for the podcast. So like we should.
Yeah, yeah. We'll keep it 1 hour, alright? We'll
Yes.
we'll finish it like 55ish. Yes. So,
That's
which
gonna
is
be
your favorite
Bumblebee.
Transformer,
Bumblebee.
Dylan?
Even though like I only know Transformers through the movies. I've seen the animated series a little bit, and not the classic one. I saw this one on. I think it was Disney XD. Or I'm not sure, but maybe I'm not sure.
Transformers Prime?
Where the human character has a bike, female transformer as his
Yeah.
companion. I'm not sure what their relationship was.
Yes.
Rule
Well, if
34?
you
Of
see
course, I've
some,
seen like
hentai,
dude, Rule 34 can
yes.
apply to any relationship.
They will.
Like it can
Mhm.
even go, it can transcend universes. Okay, that's just Rule 34 and how it is. Okay.
Yep.
Anyways,
Yeah, continue.
so Bumblebee is my favorite, mostly from the movies and some scenes from the animated series,
Hmm.
because he seems like a bubbly, energetic, joking around character who has the potential to become something like something that Optimus is, like a proper leader, but he just doesn't want to. He's a lot more comfortable where he is, and he kind of shines in that position. So
Hmm.
that's why I relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, gonna
Yeah.
ask me the same question, Dylan?
uh, who's who's your favorite Transformer, Marty? Is it Optimus,
Yes.
Megatron?
No. No. I am evil, but not that much. Yep. I am pretty sure
Exactly.
I'm more evil than Megatron, but guys, one day we'll
Oh, okay,
do a
okay.
proper
I thought you were
Transformers
about to
thing as
reveal
well.
our evil plans.
You know. Yeah. No. Dylan, you know what? Let's do one thing. In the next one, we can't really talk about Power Rangers
Hmm.
for a complete hour. Let's keep the first hour about Power Rangers and the second hour
Okay,
about
sure. I mean,
Transformers.
this entire episode has mostly been
Yeah.
about
Cool.
that, but we haven't touched on Spider-Man that much. Other
The actual trivia,
than
the
okay,
actual
okay.
origins,
Oh,
the
okay, okay,
actual
okay.
stuff. Yes. So only one character I will be revealing right now, which is my favorite character, and a lot of people don't even know the name of this character, which is very sad. The name of this character is Ultra Magnus. Do you know this character,
No,
Dylan?
I'm a sound racist if I say it. It
See,
sounds like a character that would be inspired by a certain community with Magnus in the name.
that's just because we know a person with that name and
I just,
belong.
I just say
My God.
with a name like Ultra Magnus, and I already know a person named Magnus. It's just
Magnus, but look, I'm pretty sure you're not hearing this, but if you ever do, we apologize. You knew from day one how racist we are,
maybe
alright?
this could be day one for them.
Yeah. No, Magnus has experienced a lot due to us. But what else did he expect?
Anyways, Ultra Magnus.
Anyways, Ultra Magnus. So, Ultra Magnus was actually the first lieutenant commander under Optimus Prime
Okay.
on the War of Cybertron,
Oh, so he
right?
died?
Back on Cybertron. No, he survived. He crashed on the moon, just on the dark
Oh,
side
it's,
of the moon, just like
exactly. I was
Sentinel
about
Prime
to
and a
mention
lot
him.
of
Like, is he supposed to be Ultraman?
yeah. Yes, like Sentinel Prime and a lot of Decepticons, but his ship, due to being small, was undetected. I mean, it's a very large ship, but it was very small in comparison to Decepticon ships.
Yeah, it's just like we're just gonna gloss over how
Hmm.
incompetent.
And if you look, he basically was devoted to Optimus Prime. He even based his vehicle form on what Optimus Prime chose. The truck,
And
the carrier truck, the semi.
imagine the moment
Yes.
when Optimus turned into like the Decepticon side. Imagine how betrayed he might have felt.
Yeah. Well, when Megatron and Optimus Prime once joined
Forces.
uh, forces to, free the Earth's core from Unicron, Ultra Magnus was the only one who had a problem. He's like, you are a Prime. You can handle it yourself. Kill that thing. I'm not gonna use more abusive words, alright?
You
Apologies,
can
please.
still say you can kill the bad guy. That's not an abusive word.
Yeah, the bad guy.
Kill the Decepticon, the main head Decepticon, or any.
Kill
Yeah,
Megatron. But Optimus didn't,
yet
and that helped a lot.
for now.
Yes. Do you know actually, stats wise, Megatron is literally the strongest uh, Transformer there
Yeah,
is. He's stronger than Optimus Prime just because Optimus Prime got,
plot armor.
yes, exactly. Plot armor, which is known as the.
I don't know a synonym
We'll
for
talk
plot
about
armor,
it.
so I want to see where you're.
Yeah, it's very accurate. It's very, very accurate. Plot armor known as the matrix of leadership.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So that's why. And without that, Need doesn't even stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, like in the second movie with the Sentinel Prime, he kind of kicked the
Lynn,
nuts,
shut up.
kicked all the screws loose out of Megatron with ease.
Yeah, that was like the best prime of Optimus Prime, right? And Megatron was already injured.
Yeah, but still, like Megatron seemed like a joke in that movie. Like the way he offered companionship to Optimus, and he just one shot at him. It's like why?
Like, yeah,
He was the villain
like,
in the first movie, guy. Like I mean, just
I'm so sorry, audience, but that one move was the definition of fuck off.
yeah, F word.
Yes, I already apologized.
No, but Okay, okay. I guess apologies work now. It's Hitler ever gets revived, goes to
Okay,
Germany. I'm sorry, guys. Just that works. This.
I'm pretty sure he'll be able to raise an army again and try to conquer
I
the
mean,
world.
neo-Nazis still exist and stuff, but yeah.
Like you.
And no, what are you talking about? I'm not bald.
Nice. All right.
That's my only defense. I'm not bald. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Perfect.
not for killing innocent people or
Cool.
people. I'm not. I'm not for killing.
I would like to disagree. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ultra Magnus is very primary to the entire plot of Transformers as a whole, and he's a very strong and necessary character. Megatron had actually mentioned in one of the comics that he used to fear the Autobots even when their numbers were less, not because they had the primes on their side, but because they had the strategic prowess of Ultra Magnus on their side.
I just can't get over that name, man. It's just. It's putting an image in my head that I don't like.
Bad, bad, Dylan, bad.
I'm just imagining Magnus floating in the night with like Super Saiyan power, purplish,
God, no,
Ultra Magnus.
no.
God.
She. Also, Ultra Magnus was the only Autobot left who had a ship after Megatron literally destroyed everything that the Autobots had and almost killed Optimus Prime. He
On
had to
multiple
be
occasions.
on multiple occasions, but this specific occasion it was like pretty serious. The Autobots had to go to the main ship of the Decepticons, steal some of the you know uh, main objects that the Primes used, some of their artifacts to revive Optimus Prime. So
Hmm.
it was very serious, and after that, Optimus Prime kicked the living hell out of every Decepticon that could ever exist. But before that, it got very serious and out of hand, and Ultra Magnus helped a lot. While Optimus was down, Ultra Magnus led the Autobots, and only due to that they survived.
I thought Bumblebee might take over if Optimus ever went down.
Yeah, Bumblebee in that particular storyline.
Died?
No, no, no.
Imprisoned?
Can you let me, please?
Sorry, go ahead.
So it was offered that who will become the next prime temporarily. Ultra Magnus was not an option because Optimus was like, he is a good leader, but he will,
He won't do what's
he will lead
necessary.
you into something that only he can survive capability wise. So yeah, in the time he's not here, I'll just mention that Ultra Magnus is my favorite. But after that, I'm like Redcliffe, Bumblebee, Jazz, RC. RC is the bike that the guy rode in the animated series Dylan mentioned. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright, continuing to your question. Ultra Magnus was not
Hmm.
chosen as a prime. The two options were Bumblebee and Sideswipe.
Hmm.
And Sideswipe became the prime for
Oh,
like a few seconds.
okay.
But Bumblebee was
Okay.
like, I do not want this. I was a Ravager. I cannot become a prime.
Mhm.
It's a complicated thing. I'll explain.
Moral code. Okay.
It was his moral code. Okay. So Sideswipe was the right choice actually because he became prime for a second. Revived Optimus, gave him the leader matrix of leadership back. Like you only do this. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Nice.
So that was about Ultra Magnus, right?
Oh God. Yeah.
Just a name, Dylan. Just a name. The character is very awesome. Also, by the way, I did
Yeah,
mention
of
to the
course.
audience that the bike character you mentioned, the name was RC.
RC. Okay.
Hmm. Yes,
Okay. Just need to. Now I have a name for Rule 34.
that's why I told everyone because everyone would want to, you know.
Entertain
Yes,
themselves
I am
with
an
a
angel
bike.
that way, people. You're welcome. Doishati mashite.